Welcome to The Explainer, and today we're talking about way more than just tennis. We're breaking down the phenomenon that is Alexandra Eala. She's a market force, a cultural moment, and frankly, a seismic shift in pro sports, all wrapped up in one incredible athlete.
So this was the narrative, right? The story the tennis world wanted everyone to believe. They built this box, slapped a hardcourt specialist label on it, and tried to lock her in. But as we're about to see, Alex Eala doesn't just break the rules, she pretty much shatters the whole game board.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look at the big challenge she faced on clay. Then, we'll uncover her not-so-secret weapon, the Eala army. We'll dive deep into the stats that tell the real story, pinpoint the moments that changed everything, and finally, look at the massive impact she's having on tennis history.
So let's start with the central conflict here. There was this widespread belief that Alex Eala's game, which is so powerful and potent on fast courts, was totally neutralized on the slow, grinding red dirt of Europe. The narrative was set, and honestly, the stats seem to agree.
You know, heading into this season, her career record on clay was underwater. 14 wins, 21 losses. That was the data point everyone used as proof. But the second she stepped on the clay this year, she didn't just play, she made a statement. She won her first match and then pushed a Grand Slam champion to the absolute limit. Right away, the story started to crack.
Okay, but here's where things get really fascinating. It's not just about what's happening on the court. It's about this force that follows her everywhere. It's an economic and cultural juggernaut that, honestly, the tennis world has never really seen before.
And that number, 115 million. No, that's not a TV rating for a single match. That is the estimated number of Filipinos whose passion, pride, and energy she is literally carrying on her shoulders every single time she walks on court. We're talking about an entire nation mobilized. And this is what we call the Alex Eala effect. It is a full-blown economic event. The second her name gets added to a tournament list, ticket websites start crashing, social media algorithms go haywire, and a whole new group of fans that tournaments have never reached before suddenly comes alive. She doesn't just play in a tournament, she completely transforms its entire economy.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's look at the numbers, because this is where we really put on our coaching hat and break down the film. Her stats tell a story of more than just heart. They show a real technical evolution. We're talking improved clay court movement, smarter shot making, and one critical flaw that is totally fixable. Picture this, Linz Open. She's up against Julia Grabber, a clay court veteran with over a decade of experience, playing in her own country, with a crowd that is not on Eala's side. The pressure was insane, and Eala just refused to break. Just look at these stats. 10 times, Grabber had a chance to break her serve, and 9 times, Eala said no. 90%. Now that's not just being mentally tough. That is pure technical improvement. It tells you her footwork on clay, her balance, her sliding, it's all gotten so much better, allowing her to get to balls and shut down attacks. It's psychological warfare, really, built on a foundation of just better movement. But then came the real test. The match against a former French Open champ, Jelena Ostapenko. And this match, wow, it laid it all bare. It showed us her absolute elite-level talent, and it also pointed a giant spotlight on the one thing she needs to fix to conquer the world. So first, let's talk about what she did incredibly well. Her first serve was on fire, more accurate than a Grand Slam champion on that champion's favorite surface. And it wasn't just about hitting it hard, it was the variety. The slice out wide, the hard one down the tee, Ostapenko just couldn't get a read on it at all. But then, there's this number, 0%. That was her win percentage on her second serve points. Let that sink in for a second. 0. Every single time she missed that first serve, it was basically a point for Ostapenko. It was a huge, glaring vulnerability.
Now, this is so important to understand. That 0%, that's not a mental block. It's a tactical problem. It's a coachable, fixable, technical issue. The serve probably sits up a little too nicely. Not enough kick, letting a player like Ostapenko just attack it. So where does she fix this? At the Rafa Nadal Academy, the best place on earth for this exact problem. They'll work on the biomechanics, getting more topspin, more kick to make that ball jump off the clay. Then, they'll drill placement under pressure, until that second serve isn't a weakness, it's a weapon to set up her next shot.
And what's so amazing about her is how quickly she learns and adapts. It's like we're watching her level up in real time. Every match, win or lose, is just more data for the next fight.
You want proof? Just look at Madrid. Against Pavlyuchenkova, a former French Open finalist, Eala didn't just squeak by, she dominated every single important category. That 76% win rate on first serve points, that's not luck. That is the direct result of putting in the work, making adjustments, and executing.
I mean, her rise is it's mind-blowing. Think about it. 3 years ago, she's grinding away in small tournaments, ranked outside the top 140. Today, she literally moves markets. The entire tour feels the financial impact when she plays. That's not just a rise, that's a vertical launch.
Okay, so let's zoom out. Because what's happening here with Eala, it's not just about her. It's changing the entire structure of professional tennis. It's changing who watches this sport and where they watch it from.
The Eala effect is basically a new business model for the sport. It shows how one athlete, who represents something so much bigger than just themselves, can basically unlock a massive global fan base that was always there but was never activated before.
You know, for as long as anyone can remember, pro tennis has been a very European and American-centric sport. It kind of felt like a closed club. Well, Eala is kicking the door down. She's proving that a global superstar can come from absolutely anywhere, and she's bringing a whole nation's pride with her to center court.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This is what happens when a country that was never supposed to produce a world-class tennis player produces one. She's not just winning matches. She's playing for millions of kids back in the Philippines who now believe they can do it too. She is living proof.
So where does she go from here? She's already proven everyone wrong on clay. She's built this massive global following. The question now really becomes a technical one. Once she re-engineers that second serve with her power and her tennis IQ, well, the sky is not the limit. It's not about if she'll win a Grand Slam, but how many. She could redefine what it even means to be number one.